Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's One Funny Morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday.
Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever.
That's called
our-
murder in New Jersey.
he was a lot
Like what is?
with his everything.
Oh,
What's outside your Puerta de Clima?
that's Stellan!
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. This is my happy place catching up with Dina's One Funny Mother every night. It's not a chicken leg. And snuggling with this baby. Stop it. It's not a chicken leg. Who doesn't like me doing anything but sitting on the couch. So, I crochet. I'm currently working on a bluey stuffy. This is the body for one of my COVID babies turning 5 this year. This is Amanda and coming in from Illinois. And now take it over, Dina. Uppy, uppy, uppy.
Good morning, good morning. How is everybody? Hold on, I gotta get my breakfast. Before it burns. Girl. All right. Good morning, everybody. All right. I also like sitting on the couch. Who doesn't? Good morning, everybody. I think we can agree it's Thursday. Does that sound right to anybody? Good. Because that's what I'm going. Bluey is a character in a cartoon. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for letting me know. So I'm not going to say it's a great day, but it is not raining. And that's all I needed. I don't know about anybody else, but I just need the day to not rain. That's the baseline I'm looking for my mental health. I just can't take it. I don't remember there ever being this much rain in my life, like ever. Is it raining there? Oh. I know, just dreary, but not raining. I'll take it. Raining here in Kansas City, Missouri. I know. Kathy, I thought the hood was going in yesterday too. But alas, it did not. We're a little behind on some renovations, which is upsetting, but it's fine. Where am I going? And I don't want to brag, but I'm gonna. So there are 3 phases left to finishing the book. Phase 1 was to go through all the chapters that I've currently written. The first phase was like, I have a reading group and I've gone through it with my reading group and I needed to finalize them. That was phase 1. That is done. Do you know how many phases are there? 3, B. 3. What's phase 2? Phase 2 is all the chapters that I've written, but my writing group has not heard. And I needed to go through all those. And there was like 20 of them. And I'm down to 6. And I'm going to do them today. And they're hard. They're like the ones that are like heavy and like, they're hard to go through. But I have 6 left and I'm going to do them today. So what's phase 3, Dina? Phase 3 is to finish writing the Curly top. I was excited when I finished phase 1. I feel like I need 3 phases to get out of bed this morning. Listen, break stuff down to phases because then you can just celebrate. Just my legs are out from under the covers. Yeah. And then phase 2 is like, maybe I'll shower like that. I thought I turned that off. Yeah, no, Shakendra, we're saying congratulations today. That's who we are, Shakendra. And then phase 3 will be finishing the book, which I'm pretty sure is 20,000 over words, but then we'll cut back. Nuance. Phase 4, I guess, would be nuance. And then shipping it out to people. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good book, but it'll be a book. And we'll see. We'll see who might want to read it. All right. Tommy is on his way. Handyman Tommy. Time frame with the faces. Here's my plan, Sharon. I am going to be done with the book in a month. No, I said that a week ago, so I only have 3 weeks left. And then we're not going to talk about it anymore because I can't. Did you ever get so sick of yourself that you literally can't pretend to be doing something? Like, please name something that you tell everybody you're going to do it. And there is no part of you that can accomplish any of what you're saying. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what is something that I was actually thinking, Becca, I might read some chapters in Quebec. I was thinking about it. It should be done by Quebec. So, my basement. Thank you for saying, Christy. Selling my husband's boat. Procrastinating for 3 years. Declutter my house. Purging the basement. Grocery shopping. Oh, Julie, you going to be there? Like, is there something in your life that you are like, I'm definitely going to do this, and you have been talking about it forever, and people are actually sick of you talking about it because we all know you're not going to do it? Like, what is that thing for you? Cleaning my garage, cleaning out the shed, cabinets and closets. Like, that's me. What are we discussing? Jackie, we're talking about, I don't want to say my procrastination because that sounds negative. I think when writing a memoir, you got to be ready to write it. You know what I'm saying? Dating, okay. Losing weight, teaching myself to play the dulcimer. Judy, what's a dulcimer? Do you know what a dulcimer is? What is it?
Like a stringed instrument that lays down flat and kind of is an open tuning. And has
and then go
it has a little
like that.
pole thing, like a slide, a wooden slide to hold down instead of your fingers. Hold down the strings.
Very cool. Please learn it. Somebody said, filing for divorce. Beth, let's sit here for a second. Let's just let Beth breathe this out because she wrote it. Now listen, Judith right above her said, I'd like to learn to play the dulcimer. And that took some bravery. But then Beth came in with file for divorce. Beth, I'm just going to sit here for a second and just let you breathe that out because that had to be very hard for you to even type that. And we don't know you personally. We don't know your story. And sometimes it's a little easier to write that. But I want you to just sit on it for a minute. Because for every person that writes that in a chat, there's a bunch of people that didn't write it, but maybe wanted to. And you got to just work through that. Like I was saying, everybody got to work through it. Sometimes you got to say it. And you know what, Beth, you'll do when you're ready. But I think it's important that we vocalize these things and we put them out in the universe. And maybe that'll be the thing that you need to start putting things into action, or not, or just think on them. Been talking about an overseas holiday, cleaning out the garage. My kitchen cabinet's rearranged. My daughter loves to play the dulcimer. How is there this instrument that I've never heard of before? And everybody knows what it is. Getting the backyard into place. I want to sit and relax. My husband said he would do it, but for travels for work and he has no time. So I'm doing it. Good for you, Noelle. See, Leanne said, Beth, same, just didn't want to say it. That's a big one, Beth. And I want to say to you that wherever you land, it's got to be good for you. And sometimes saying that word out loud, the divorce word, is a big step. And it's a big step for even Leanne and all the other people who aren't writing it. So, yeah. I'm purging my dressing room. Oh, Allie, you okay? You're one step closer when you can say it out loud. Saying it is the start. It's a big step. Christy said, Beth, hardest thing I've ever done, praying for you. What was the question? Question, Renee, was that I was talking about the book and how I finally have gotten so sick of myself. And I think, I was talking about it again, just out loud. And I realized that in November, it'll be 2 years since I started the book. And I can't be that lady. I'm not. And I think, like Beth, who's maybe at the beginning of that process, I don't know that I realized it would take this long for me to process things. And so I was saying, is there something in your life that you have been talking about doing forever? And you are actually so sick of yourself talking about it. Like, what is that thing for you? And so some people were talking about, cleaning their basement or working on their yard. And then Beth came out and said filing for divorce. And so we just took a minute for Beth and for anybody that needs to breathe through that, because it is hard. But I think it's actually good that it's taken me so long to write this, because I look at things that I wrote early in the process. I look at things that I wrote in the middle, and I look at what I'm writing now and kind of the last part of that story. And I needed time for that story to come up to something like, oh, I learned some lessons and I made some mistakes and I had some really brave moments. And I think I needed to see all of them for what they were with some distance. So today we're just saying stuff out loud. It's a huge step. Sometimes you can say, but the hard part is doing it. That's true, Tanya. I think everybody's got to go through those processes. And I can tell you, and when you do read the book, there were those moments where, like, in my mind, divorce was never on the table. And I think that that's the thing, is like, I know where I was when I realized this is the only choice left. And then I know where I was when I actually went to file. Like, those are important moments. And now you know where you were when you typed it in. And that's a big step. Renee said, divorce was hard for me, but I have my story and I'm better off without him. Yeah. Dieting and organizing. We can't beat ourselves up for procrastination. It's easy to think that you're the only one and that it can be hard for other people. But I think that's the number one thing that most people struggle with. It is. Listen, I'm showing up in the last few weeks like I'm finishing this book. I'm so sick of myself. But girl, listen, tomorrow morning I'll be like, you guys, I just can't do it. I think, and listen, how close am I to my period? When's the last time I had chocolate? Am I constipated? And there's so many things that could affect your procrastination level. This is who Dina is today. This might not be Dina. I could kill this Dina. So tomorrow. Christy said, I went through my divorce around the same time as Dina. It was so helpful to hear her talk about it. I think it is. I think that it was helpful. Thank you for saying that, Christy. But I think it was helpful for me, like when I put the divorce video out, which was one of the hardest things ever, was to read the comments from people. Again, same thing, to just kind of hear other women who have been through the process and all of them were saying, listen, I'm in a better place, and sometimes that better place is a poorer place, but still better. Sometimes that better place is, moving somewhere in the interim so you can get back on your feet. Guess what? Still better. And I think that that's what everybody's got to come to is what's your better. If there's some inkling about any of it that's better, then you have to move in that direction. Better, safer, calmer, more peaceful. I'm just saying, these are all worthwhile. So, Michelle said her thing she's procrastinating is writing a cookbook. My husband says too many good meals to not leave my legacy for my kids. Michelle, that's so beautiful. You should. Michelle said divorce is rough, one of the hardest things I've ever done, while being the best decision for me and my kids. No regrets. Getting my closets cleaned. The kitchen's not quite done, Sharon. In fact, Tommy is going to come in and rip out a wall. Deb said divorce, one of the hardest things I ever went through. Yes, Tanya, feel free to do that. Patty's like, I'm the queen of procrastination, very good at it. If anybody needs any advice, reach out to Patty. I never thought about divorce, but I knew for my own safety I needed it, and I'm going through counseling. I love how comfortable you are saying all that in front of Jason. Constipation. Girl, listen, you got to talk about it. Even just working up the energy to have the hard conversation is hard, said Victoria. I just had a heart-to-heart with my husband, and I made sure I wasn't premenstrual when we had it, so I didn't go crazy, and it went very well, said Victoria. Here's Erica. Erica said, the thing procrastinating is sobriety. It took 2 years. She was. Now she's good. And relationship suffering, but I'm reaching 2 years sober next week. Erica, let's clap for you. I'm so excited. But I feel like, right, Erica, like at some point, there's something in your body where you have to just get so sick of yourself. You're like, I'm sick of me. And I have to just do something, Yeah, Christy, that was hard. Hey, Margaret. Yeah. Yep, Renee. You put the divorce video out on my birthday, and it really gave me the encouragement that I needed. I could live this life without him, said Beth. Yeah, I can't even watch that video. I can't watch that. I can't watch the one with Brooke. sometimes, depending on the day, I don't know. I don't know if I really came to terms with what I just went through with my cancer journey, said Karen. I've spent so much time doing what needed to be done that I don't know if it's actually hit me yet. I get that. I bet Missy could speak to that. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Is it procrastination or is it waiting till Jesus whispers, now is the time? And I have hearing loss, so. Well, I don't know, Jen. That's a good question. I mean, I think procrastination is just the byproduct of just mentally not being ready to do something, and I think we all wake up every day thinking like this is the day we're going to do X, and we're like, why isn't it happening? And I'm in the middle of trying to decide a bunch of kind of big things for myself, and my gut says I should make some big moves and take some big risks, but it's difficult. And I think that sometimes if you think too much, you won't make any move, because every change is scary. And I think sometimes you have to just really talk to the people that know you best and say, like, I'm scared out of my mind. But if I wasn't scared, what would you tell me to do? And that's such a big thing. Like, is the reason why you're not doing the thing because you're scared? And is that a good enough reason for you not to do it? Because, girl, you've been scared before, and guess what you find? But it's scary to put yourself in a not great position on purpose, because you think, why would I do that? Like, there's some part of your brain that says, why would I do that? And I think a big part of the book too, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like, there's a lot of stuff in there you guys don't know about. And like, how do I want to say it? And how does it come across the way that I've written it right now? And trying not to edit yourself too much at this point so that you can just get it out and then start crafting. And so it's so many things. But if somebody said, this is going to hurt, but it's going to end up okay. What would you do? Yeah. I walked out on my wedding day. Absolutely horrible day, but I don't regret it one bit. Just wish I would have left sooner, said Janice. Wow. Remember the place Carly and I lived with no kitchen for 9 months, and then in a borrowed home on a farm. Those were better. I promise you those were better. And I remember I met Missy when she was living on the farm and had no kitchen. And I don't know, like, I think back at that time, Missy, I'm like, I don't remember her ever being sad. I just remember her just being happy sunshine Missy. And you know what? Maybe compared to where she was, like, this was happy Missy, even in a farm with a little hot plate, still better. What's your still better? Because sometimes I think we think that moving forward in life means having more money, having bigger house, having bigger this, having more this, always having more. And the reality is that sometimes having less, better. Still better. Better up here. Are you and the boyfriend living together now? Yes, we are, William. Missy said, left just about everything behind. Divorce is hard, but shaking off 180 pounds of bad news was completely freeing. There's Tracy. Yeah. Wendy said, even under the best of circumstances, divorce is hard. But as soon as you start the process, you are one step closer to building the life you are in charge of. Yeah. Brooke's like, I'm just not going to get married. You guys got a lot of heavy stuff you're talking about. Listen, there are some people that don't get divorced and they have wonderful lives. I annoy myself that I don't want to do anything after work. After teaching special ed all day, I just need to disassociate and decompress at the end of the day. Girl, I get it. You are special people. And I don't mean that in a funny way. I mean it for sure. I overthink everything. I know. I have been donating to Planet Fitness for a while now. Girl, turn it off. Turn it off. Here's what I'm going to say, Anne-Marie. I will only work out if there's other people with me. Like, girl, don't depend on me. And I should look in the mirror and be like, girl, you're not going to the gym. Now, if Chris calls me, it's like, you're going today, right? Or if Andrea says, hey, I'll see you at the gym. I'm like, oh, Andrea needs me to go. And then I guilt myself. So I think the key to any workout regime is you got to have somebody that's going to show up, and vice versa. For me, divorce was a good thing as we got married very young, and we are better friends and communicators now than we ever were married. I had to find someone who was meant for me. This is for the person who said they have 2 years sober. Congratulations. So proud of you. I just celebrated 1 year on the 15th. Good for you, Robin. Christy, you're the best. This is for Karen Butler from Missy. Karen, that makes so much sense. When we're in go mode through diagnosis and treatment, we are separate from the rest of ourselves. And suddenly one day you don't have a doctor's appointment and you're standing in line in the grocery store and it hits. That's so crazy. I feel like it was like that for the divorce as well. I feel like you just kind of go through the motions, right? You're like, I got to do this. I got to file this. I got to separate this bank account. I got to do this. What do the kids need? Da, 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 da. And then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, what have I done? And not in a bad way, but I think I definitely, like, choosing to divorce means you're choosing to blow up your life. And that is a good thing sometimes. Think it through. But and I knew that moment was coming. I knew at some point when things stood still in the grocery line that it would hit me, right? But those are good. Those are good things. Because you're like, who is you? What did you do? I think you filed for divorce. Girl, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. Is that a good idea? I don't know. It doesn't feel like it because we don't have money for these groceries. Girl, we figure it out. We're going to get an OnlyFans. Like, you can have a whole conversation with yourself because that's all you got. But then you come here and you see how many people are going through the same things. Yeah. Has knowing we're going to read your life affected how much you're writing? I was having a hard time at the very beginning, Allie, of what to write, what I wanted to say, and what I wanted people to think, and blah, blah. And that meant I wrote nothing. And then I was talking to Julie, our friend Julie Cantrell, and she was like, Dina, just write it all down. It doesn't mean just because you write it now that this is what is going to be put out. Like, just write your truth. And it's really important to me to remember that as I'm writing, like this is a first draft. This is just, I worry that my kids will see this, that I worry. And so I really try to not, like, just try to write down what happened from my point of view when my life was falling apart, and then what, from my point of view, what was it like trying to put it back together. Yeah. So Karen, I feel the same. It's been 18 years for me, and I think it scares me more than ever than it did back then. Yeah. Judy said, some of the best advice I ever got from my sister: stop worrying about what you don't have and start appreciating what you do have. Yeah. When my husband asked for a divorce, I sent to work the next day and told everyone I lost 500 plus pounds. Shedded my ex and his, is that his mother? Mm-hmm. What you just said is exactly what I've discovered in the last 6 years. I've simplified everything in my life, removed the emotional and physical clutter, and I found some real peace. Mm-hmm. I definitely married my first husband too young, got divorced. A couple of years later, I met the love of my life. Now I'm a widow. It's been 2 years since I lost him suddenly. It's been so tough. Hugs to all, said Stacy. Oh, Stacy. That's beautiful. That's hard. And that's another kind of starting over to girl you didn't ask for. You know, so good. We have open mic last night, and can I just tell you, it just stays with me. And it's so beautiful. I'm not going to name names because the people know who I'm talking about. But we have someone in our group who just is so honest and just speaks to this journey, Stacey, that you're on. And like still in mourning and still so good. She knows who she is. I just love it. And she's going through the mourning process. So good. Hey, what's up?
What?
Mm-hmm. It's so good. Going through the mourning process, but still talking about moving forward and starting over. And it's beautiful. And you should all, you should all join the open mic. It's so beautiful. I've been through 2 divorces. It was hard, but at 66, I've been single for 10 years and having my best life. I may meet someone or not, but I'm okay, said Penny. I have a question. What do you do when your best married friends get divorced and now you don't know if you should or can have a relationship with the one who moved away? The other still lives across the street and they are in the hate each other phase. We love them both. Because, yeah, that's hard, especially if they live across the street, because I think you got to pick one. Or you got to see the other one in secret. That's hard. That's hard, but eventually I guess they'll let you know who you got in the divorce. I've thought about divorce 2 times now. Still working through things. He's an amazing man, and I don't want to disrupt my daughter's life any more than she has had to deal with. Have some straightforward boundaries and won't deal with the self-inflicting things one more time. All right, Trina. That's a lot. And maybe I will say that when I was going through the process, and the kids told me, they were like, you need a therapist. Like all my kids, I was very responsible with my kids growing up. Like, are you dealing with depression, anxiety, whatever? Like, let's get therapy, let's get medicine. Like, we're always very proactive with our children. And it was definitely a moment when my kids sat me down and they were like, you're going to need to talk to somebody. And I was like, I'm fine. You guys, I'm fine. Mommy's got it. Like, you did the thing where you're like, Mommy's good. Don't worry about it here. I'm worried about you. And it was Dean and Jacqueline. And they both sat me down. It was Dean and Brooke. Jacqueline was at college. But they both sat me down and they were like, you need to get into therapy. And it was really good for me. And I was with my therapist for 1.5 years because I think it's hard. I think it's hard to talk about it, with your friends or family where you might feel weird talking about certain things. It really helped me sift through things and make decisions and hear myself, because I think for a lot of it, I don't know that she said anything to me. I think she was like, this is what I hear you saying that you want. And I needed that. So Trina, that might be helpful, especially if you're in that place. Yeah. How did you say, like, I'm going to move on after breaking down? It was really important to me that I gave myself, and I said this yesterday, and we actually talked about yesterday's morning show a lot. It was kind of the theme of last night's open mic. And I was saying to Jason, like, every time he comes home, I'll be like, hey, how's the morning show? I'm like, it was actually yesterday's morning show. And even today, like, I'm like, I'm just making breakfast. And then somehow we get on these topics. But I really needed to, heal myself first, make sure that that door was closed. And even after it was closed, I just needed to be by myself. I think that for me, that was the most important thing, was not jumping from one thing to another and really just learning to be on my own first and to give myself that grace to not feel like I there was no part of me that wanted to date right away. I just was just so broken. And I say to, and you'll read it in the book, but I didn't do anything for a year and a half. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. And I needed to just do that. And then I got to the point where I was so sick of myself. And I was just like, okay, I guess. And then I started doing pickleball. And then I just became a pickleball champion. Do you worry more? Huh? And then I still couldn't beat Jason. Do you worry more about them reading the dirty parts or the divorce parts, since that's their dad? That's a good question. I think it's so funny. Obviously, Dean would not want to read any of the dirty parts, but it's funny. I think the girls are very funny. I think that depending on what your children see in your prior relationship directly affects how they react when you start dating. And my experience was that my kids, while at the beginning it was like awkward, I think that my kids were genuinely happy for me to be happy and at peace. And I think that they were hard conversations. And again, there's one in particular that was really hard. And there's a lot of parts in the divorce things that, they won't read about ever. No one will. I don't know. I mean, what happened is what happened. And they were there for most of the divorce parts. They know what happened. So I don't think that there's going to be any big surprises in there. The dirty parts, they're either going to be like, ew, or they'll be like, girl, like that. I think they're going to be like, girl. Nothing. Yeah. Julie said, my divorce happened because he broke the one boundary I had. He had it figured out, but never took the initiative to say divorce. I did. House sold and divorced in 5 months. Oh, Junian, that's amazing. Others have told me I should write a book about my journey in divorce. Do you feel like it's helping you? I think so. It's hard for me to read parts of the book still, because I think it is still so raw in a lot of ways when I read certain chapters. And then other parts of the book I read and I go, wow, like I've really come a long way. And I really think back to like where I am now and never thought that being happy again was a possibility. So to be writing a book while being with somebody that's so loving and wonderful is beautiful to me. So yeah, I gotta write the rest of it. Yeah. I didn't realize how unhappy I was and how badly I was treated when I was married. Now I'm almost 4 years post-divorce and I'm the happiest I've ever been. Open mic is touching my soul in the most beautiful way. I never expected it to be such a soul-reaching experience, said Missy. It's really beautiful. I'm telling you, you guys, it's just, yeah. My grown-ass son has been emotionally dependent on me for many years since his dad died. I've been procrastinating making him figure life out on his own because I'm concerned he will crash and burn. Susie, maybe see about the therapy. I don't know if that's a part of your conversations, but Yeah, I think therapy is underrated, and I think it's so helpful. It's different than your girlfriends, and yeah, I love all the topics that come up each day. It's just so real, and reading the comments, knowing you're not the only one and that we're all in this together. That's true. And I think I say about a therapist because I think all of us serve as a therapist to everyone in our life and then do a disservice to ourselves when we don't do the same. Maybe you should write a shorter book with just the dirty parts. Yep, that one's just for you, Madeline. My parents divorced as soon as I got married. I never once heard them say I love you to each other. Too many years for a loveless marriage. Yeah. How much have you shared with Jason? Almost all of it. There were some chapters I waited, and then some chapters he was like, I don't need to hear the rest. So you'll know which ones. So yeah, for the most part, I haven't written any of the part. I mean, a couple things with Jason, a couple stories, but not the big part. That's the next part I have to write. And I even said to him, I was like, like I think about like how much do I want to share? To me, it's easy to share the dating stories, or I can't say it's easy to share the divorce stories. But there's some parts, with Jason, I'm like, which parts do I want to keep just for me? I don't know. My dad passed before, after the divorce, during, right? Because divorce is never quick. But I knew I was divorcing when my dad was still here. But then he passed, and then it would be probably another year until it was finalized. So, that's the other thing is that it is such a process. Mine was quick. Mine, from the time that I filed, was probably 6 months, but some people's can go on for years. I think that's incredibly difficult. Yeah. So, yeah, after losing my husband, my daughter and I have been through CBT and DBT therapy. Very helpful. Yeah. How do you join open mic? I've been thinking about, yeah, you should. Leanne, it's really beautiful. Of course there is, Roxanne. Is there a chapter about the bed falling through the floor? Girl. Yes. Leanne, you can join open mic if you go to OneFunnyMother.com. And then I think it says classes and then open mic underneath it. Yeah. My parents should have divorced, but never did. My mom would just not speak to my dad for months at a time, and I was the go-between. It was all so tense all the time. My dad could not make my mom happy. I learned how not to relate to my spouse. The one regret from my divorce process and the separation before is that I didn't find a therapist. I was worried about spending the money. Looking back, I should have prioritized that. I agree, Wendy. I think everybody worries about the money. It was something that I still was on the good health insurance at the time. And I was like, girl, I'm taking advantage of this health insurance. Yeah. Marianne, you're going to have to go back. In Virginia, you have to be separated for a year before divorce if you have minor children. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. But again, wherever you land, whatever it is that your thing is in terms of procrastination, whatever the thing is that you've talked about forever, and you're so sick of yourself, maybe revisit it. Think about, what are the things that you might be wanting to do to kind of start moving things forward. Therapy, yes. I'm struggling with loneliness. I don't regret my decision, but man, it's tough in these streets. I wish there was more groups or people to meet in person. Susan, I hear that on every level. And that's when I started pickleballing and I started joining groups because I agree with you, Susan. I felt like, I don't think I ever felt that the world was coupled more than when I was single. And it was really important to me to find other single people. But even on the Facebook, there are these like, hey, let's meet up and have dinner. I was like, I'll have dinner. I love dinner. I was like, and I think you have to, Susan. So I encourage you to do that. And even find some groups, like that might be like newly divorced. Like somebody posted, I remember one day, it was so smart. Somebody like posted on like a local thing. It said, I'm recently divorced and I feel like everybody I know is coupled up. Would anybody like to just go out and grab some dinner sometime? And I was like, yes. So I hear you in all of the ways, for sure. Yeah. Hold on, Tommy's outside the window. It's like Mr. Rogers in here. Hey there. You coming in to say hi to the ladies? Yeah, I'm still on. They were waiting for you. Come through the back door. Tommy's here to work today. Finally get my button gear. Yep. I got into open mic without screaming for help. Mooney, you did such a good job. Uh-oh, Lulu is smelling Tommy. There he is. It's Tommy. It's your boyfriend.
So you're on.
We're on. We're in the kitchen.
Come over here. Over there.
Oh, you're over here. Okay. Well, he's got to take a window out and then put a door in. The range hood didn't go up yesterday. We got delayed.
Good morning.
Tommy, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I had a lot of daughter stuff to do this morning. That's why I'm so late.
This shirt. Did you make this?
No, I did not make it. I purchased it. You can buy, this is like they call this a high-vis shirt, high visibility.
Where
like
are you
when
going
you're on job sites.
Where are you going that you need this kind of shirt?
I'm on your morning show. And I want everybody to see me.
Wouldn't it be great?
Look, you can see me.
Wouldn't it be great if like single guys wore high visibility shirts so they would be easily identifiable?
Well, I think you want to
like
be
in
more
the wild.
Don't you want to be more specific than single? Just single guys?
What do you mean?
Well, with like kind-hearted single guys wore this type of shirt. Because if just any single guy wore this type of shirt.
I like where you're going.
Yeah.
Like maybe it could be like, they could be color coded so you would know what color you were looking for.
Yeah. Like if people wore high visibility shirts that told you whether they had a good heart or a dark heart.
Then
it would be low vis. You'd be wearing a low vis shirt. You'd be like, I don't want to hang out with that person. They probably won't treat me nicely. Yeah.
Now, do you think that would be helpful from the other side? Like if women wore like high visibility, like she's like really cool to hang out with.
Yeah, that would
not
be
like low drama.
That would
like
be awesome. I
shirt.
don't know if those shirts would be a big seller.
You think because we want to hide?
No. I just think there's a lot of people out there in the world, not just women, people in general,
who are crazy,
who are don't have other people's best interests at heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a nice way of saying that.
Yeah. I mean, there's words I could use, but
Cindy,
we're probably trying to keep it clean. Yeah.
Cindy has a hard-hitting question. Are you ready?
A hard-hitting question?
Yes. Are you ready?
Yeah.
She said, "Good morning, Tommy. Why so many pens?"
I have 2 pencils.
You do have a lot of stuff are
No,
they?
no, no. I have 2 pencils.
Tell us.
I always have 2 pencils in case I leave one on the near the saw or wherever I'm going. I never want to be looking for a pencil. I always want to have a pencil. Today I'm marking masonry, so I brought a Sharpie because I'm going to be making some marks on the masonry wall. And this smartass is not more pens. This is my bifocals so that I can see to read your comments. I couldn't read them before.
Now let me ask you, like this.
I have great soft skills. Tommy has great soft skills. What is soft skills?
That means like maybe the way that you like talk to people, like you have a way with words.
I'm a nice feller.
Yeah,
probably. I'm on the sensitive side.
Now this screams like
half hippie, half redneck.
This screams anal retentive. Like as a kid, did you have like a pocket protector? But you seem very organized.
I'm not. No, I'm organized, but I am. I would say not to the point of being a dork or a dick. You know, like there's people that are organized and like, no, that has to be over there. Like I'm not like that.
You're not that.
This is just. You know, I always need my glasses during the day because I can't see small stuff anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always have 2 pencils, and today I have a Sharpie on me. But I also, as a professional tradesman handyman, I always have pockets so that I can put screws in my pockets so that when I'm doing stuff, I can put things away. I have access to things. I like to be efficient when people are paying me big money. Big money, big money, big money.
Now, let me ask you something. Have you figured out at this point that a handyman on the scale of sexiness is like a 9?
No,
like,
I haven't figured that out. No, I didn't know that. I did not know
Tommy.
That. I thought pool boy was like...
No, they can't fix just a pool.
Because I was a pool boy. Back
you were?
Yes, back in California.
And you had the skinny little outfits? Did any of the ladies make a pass at you?
I had a few. I have a few of those stories.
What?
You know, from back in my 20s.
What?
Yeah, I was a pool guy in Northern California. You know.
What? This is a whole other life I have not heard about.
I had a lot of jobs in the trades before I came to this. Yeah. I had several what you might call porn jobs. I was a pizza delivery guy at the end of high school and during college. You make really good money delivering pizza.
And apparently you get tip.
While I was going to college, I made great money doing that. And then I was a pool boy. So, you know, people use their imaginations to fill in the blanks where they, you know, like, oh, he must have been blah, blah, blah. Good morning.
Now, this whole thing again screams Boy Scout. Were you in the Boy Scouts?
I was in the Cub Scouts, and I left the Boy Scouts because my Boy Scout troop was very disorganized.
But not like point to be organized.
But it wasn't because they didn't have their pens in the right pockets. It was just because the boys were. It was a terrible scene. So I did all my own outdoor stuff. I taught myself how to stuff.
You were like, I'm going to start my own troop.
Well, I've been autodidactic since my late teens.
I don't even know what word you're saying.
That means that you teach yourself things. You're self-taught.
Autodidactic?
Self-taught, self-educated. But that's not necessarily a great thing. It's just how I ended up. It doesn't mean that that's
you use big words. You're a master carpenter. Mm-hmm. You're funny. You're single, and you have highlighted shirts. You are high on the list of dateable fellas.
I am very dateable. The only reason that I'm single right now.
I love that you're like, I'm extremely hot.
Well, I didn't say that. I said dateable.
That's what it came across.
I said dateable. Look at this corner right here. I mean,
go ahead. Tell me. Finish. I want to see where this is going.
We got a lot of
highly dateable.
The reason that I'm single at this point in my life is because up to this point, I have had, let's say, marginal intelligence with my choice in women. My selection of women in my life is debatable, to say the least.
So you don't have a good picker.
I didn't. I'm good now.
Are you?
But that's
how do you know?
because
You don't know.
Well, my asshole detector is much higher than it used to be. Like, yeah, it is. It's like
Are you on the dating apps?
I don't like the dating.
All right, I'm going to set you up.
I don't like the dating.
Have you
apps.
ever been on it?
What, the dating apps?
Yeah.
I've been on a couple.
Okay.
I did not last long.
You know I put Bob Marsdale on them.
I did not know that.
Oh.
Bob's a hell of a catch. Bob's
catch.
a great catch.
Okay, so let me tell you this story. So Bob is another comedian, very funny, very nice guy.
Do they know that I'm America's funniest handyman?
Yeah,
on YouTube?
America's
On
funniest
YouTube?
handyman.
Okay, cool.
We'll put the link in. So I hang out with a lot of comedians, mostly our fellas. And Bob got divorced around the same time as me, right?
And me.
So, and you.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a get together.
We should have had a divorce treehouse at the time. That would have been.
There's a lot. There's even more that we're not mentioning, but I don't want to put everybody's dirty laundry out. Anyway, so there is a get together on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving where a bunch of comics get together. So we're at that party, right?
Chickies and
Comedians
peas.
never hang out, but this particular night, there's a party every year. So we're together and we're talking. He was like, what's going on? I said, I'm this guy in the Bumble, blah, 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 blah. And I say to him, are you on the apps? And he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't agree with it or something. He didn't want to do it. It's just a little scary, you know, because we're all old. Fine. So he made the mistake of leaving his phone on the bar. And so he's talking to somebody and I'm over here like this. He was like, what are you doing? I go, don't worry about it. I go, I just need your face. And I sign him up. And he's like, what's happening? I go, you have a full year. You've already paid for Bumble. And I made a profile. I said, I'm going to need some pictures. And I go into his photos. I set the whole thing up in like 7 minutes. And he met some nice ladies.
Good.
He had some good success on it. Yeah. So
I didn't have a lot of fun on the dating app.
Well, they're not fun.
But see, I'm like, okay, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't need somebody
No,
in my life badly
that's the
enough
best.
to like totally go out of my way to find somebody. I'm cool. I'm good.
You're just going
If
to
I-
find a lonely woman waiting to get handied up.
I'm not looking for a lonely woman.
Sometimes
I don't want a lonely woman.
That's when you find them.
But I don't want a lonely one. I want one
Well,
that's
she won't
kind
be
of like,
lonely
hey,
once
you're
you're
cool,
handyman.
I'm cool. Let's go surf together.
See,
You know?
that's what's going to happen when you do handyman work.
Oh, like who's doing that? Who's
You
doing your
did when
special
you did
effects?
when you did 2 thumbs up. It does that. Mhm.
What?
Yeah.
How the hell did you?
I don't know.
What
I
is
didn't
this?
do it. I didn't.
This is
Hey, Lulu, we get it. You want to date him? We get it. So, yeah, the best way
Look
to
at-
meet good guys is not on the dating app. It's probably right. It's a handyman.
Yeah, and I'm gonna bump into somebody at some point. You know what I mean? I'll meet somebody.
In his highlighted shirt, and it'll all come together.
Maybe it's Lulu.
It is Lulu.
I'll just take
She's
Lu-
like, I'm right here. Why
I'll
are
just
you
take
looking?
Lulu home.
Lulu tries to go home with every man that comes through to work on the house.
She's never been
like,
this forward.
Yeah.
with
Oh
me.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the electricians were here yesterday, and she was all over them.
Yeah.
She was like, I could just come home with you. And they all know her now. They're like, come on, Lulu. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What a sweet
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. Oh, look at her. She's like, take this highlighted shirt off. You are no longer on the prowl.
It's a high vis. High vis.
High vis.
Yeah.
They should sell high vis shirts for dating, so you would know.
They do. You just have to
They're
buy them
they're
at
just
Tractor
called-
Supply. And I wear these shirts because my customers expect me to look professional. I
Okay.
look like a professional handyman.
I will
don't
not
I?
lose you. I will not lose you today.
I don't have, in the ads on Facebook, the handyman is usually wearing red overalls with a tool apron,
Okay.
that's brand new. I don't look like that. I look
No.
like a real handyman.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I have the hands to prove it.
Okay. You have all your fingers.
I do. I have all my fingers. I'm a master carpenter with all my fingers.
Yeah, that's a big deal. My grandpa was because my grandpa was a carpenter.
Most women like a guy with all his fingers.
But don't most carpenters
That was like
have
my.
real messed up hands?
It's on my dating profile when I'm on Bumble. I usually lead with, "I have all my fingers."
Did you put on there? You're a master carpenter. You're a comedian. You're like so close to being Jesus. I'm sure he was funny. He was probably funny. You think Jesus was funny?
Jesus was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I get compared to Jesus once in a while.
Do you?
And then I remind people, did Jesus drink a 12-pack of beer while he was using power tools to put your kitchen together? Because if he did, I'm just
Then
like
yes,
Jesus. But he
basically
probably
Jesus.
didn't.
You don't know. I think Jesus was like a lot more fun than people give him credit for.
I think I'm a better carpenter than Jesus.
Wow, you're really.
But
those are
bold
words.
Is there anything?
Have we ever seen his work?
There's no relics. Where's the credenza that he built for his mom? Where is it?
You're right. Now that I'm thinking about
didn't
it,
save it for a reason.
Yeah. They were like,
he was
this might hurt his reputation.
If he was a good carpenter, they would have saved the breadboard. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, and that's it. That's the only thing I'm probably better at. And I have better access to tools.
Okay.
And I spend a lot less time public speaking than he did. So he was.
I don't know. He was kind of prolific. The Bible.
That's what I mean. His public speaking skills were very prolific.
Yeah. Okay.
I said he's way better at public speaking.
Yeah. No. For sure.
Yeah. He's got the whole
save the world thing.
Yep. Good person, Messiah.
Mm-hmm. Did Tommy just say that Jesus was a shady carpenter? Essentially.
No. I didn't say shady.
No.
Just
not a good one.
I've been doing it for 30 years.
Better.
He didn't. Mm-mm. You know, he took a lot of time off to go do more important things like save the world.
Save the world. Tim Grill said, "Don't say you're better than Jesus. That almost killed the Beatles' career." Did the Beatles say that?
But I didn't say that. See, they took John Lennon out of context, and I'm not compared. Now they're going to say, is he comparing himself to John Lennon? Mm-hmm. No. Now I'm being taken out of. I didn't say I was better than Jesus. Please don't take
just
me out of,
your carpentry.
I said I may be.
Maybe
it's possible
that
I'm a better carpenter.
But you do have all your fingers.
I do have all my fingers.
So there's
and I have a lot of cordless tools. He had an auger and two dads. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot to balance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had the whole world in his hands. You're local. That's what Patty just said.
Yeah, he had the whole world in his hands. I have Conshohocken.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, today, Elkins Park.
Today, Elkins. So, all right. Well, listen, that's it for us today. I'm sure we'll see Tommy tomorrow because there'll be a big hole in my house.
There's going to be a big hole right here. You're going to show everybody?
So he's going to have to put it all together. When we're done, I have the before and after pictures.
Oh, you're not going to show them the during tomorrow morning?
No, not the during. Because I don't even know if we can be in here tomorrow. Are you going to put that tarp thing up?
I didn't. I brought plastic. I didn't bring the thing.
Okay. What's the thing?
Thing that helps it stay up.
Oh, I thought you were just going to tape it to the ceiling. You can do anything you want to that ceiling because obviously there's a big hole in it.
Okay.
So
all right,
we can hang some stuff. So that's it. All right, everybody, that's it for us.
Thanks for having
we got to go
on.
do stuff. Make sure you check out Tommy. He's America's funniest handyman. You can find him where, Tommy?
On YouTube. We have a new podcast that just started called the Laugh and Learn Podcast, where we talk about the basics of home renovation.
There you go. So stay tuned for that, and he'll be here tomorrow morning as well. And that's it, everybody. So like Judy from Saskatoon and Good Time Andrea say, get yourself a handyman in a high-vis shirt. They say it all the time. So that's it for me. Have a great day and blessed day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny Mother.